My name is Goretti. I've worked with the Need Home ever since I was small. After my university, Need Home was my first home for a job, and I've been here for 14 years. I've known these children for all this long, and what I found out is that these children have so many challenges. For example, I've been a teacher. There are times when they come to class, they are so tired, they feel sick within them. First of all, these are the reasons that they give. Sometimes their parents are not careful with what time these children are supposed to sleep. Some of these children come from a bar. They sleep in bars as their homes. Others, their parents are sex workers. This exposes them to a lot of challenges, like they get to know about sex when they are still young. And sometimes even when they come to class, they cannot concentrate because they didn't sleep enough. For example, I have a small boy who usually was so much dozing in class. And every time I would ask him, he would tell me, I didn't sleep enough. Every day, like when I'm sleeping, my mother comes with a man. They tell me to go under the bed. For them, they're on top and they're shaking the bed. I find it hard to sleep. And of course, this boy was so defensive of the mother. And he confided in me and he told me he brings in like different men. So this is a big challenge to these children because they get exposed and their rights as children is abused. First of all, they don't experience this childhood as a normal child should grow up. They don't grow up in an environment that defends them from all these abuses. They are exposed. And another thing is it's abject poverty. These children come from very poor families to an extent that on Mondays, every Monday, their first lesson, whoever comes, they go to the toilet every Monday. That means, I think they hold themselves throughout the weekend. Remember, the toilet down there is paid for. So they tend to hold themselves. Some of them even get stomach complications because they keep themselves from going to the toilet because they are going to pay. So on Mondays, the first thing, whoever comes in, they rush to the toilet. And I think this isn't nice because it's exposing them to complications in their stomachs because of the effects of holding so much. And another thing is about feeding. Now you see, we've been here for 3 days. Everyone is full, they are so happy. But when they go back home, their parents don't give them food because they are from a need home. Even when they come here and they've not had food, for them it's enough. Their parents are like, it's okay, you're from a need home. They assume that they've eaten. Of course, we give them food, but it's not a guarantee. When your child is somewhere, is entitled to having food, they may not eat, but they don't give them food. Sometimes these kids miss meals, like they can starve for days. That's why you find some of them moving at night, trying to look for what to eat. Sometimes they are beaten. Now, for example, you have a small girl down there. Someone picked her from just across the road. She was picking peelings of mangoes, and this is what she was feeding on. And this exposes them to stealing, and yet when they steal, they beat them. And other children, they are sexually abused, sometimes because they don't have what to eat. For example, like, if you do this and this for me, I'm going to buy for you a chapati, I'm going to buy for you this. So they tend to engage in sexual activities because they are promised to be given what to eat. And this is also a violation of children's rights because a child is entitled to eating. But if they fail to get what to eat, this is what is going to push them to having sex. Then another thing, I thought maybe the boys were safe, but still they're also not safe. Actually, and there's so many times when I interact with these kids in a class, we can be talking about something and someone puts up their hand and they're like, teacher, for me, I've slept with a boy. I can give an example. Who did bad manners for 3 times? Someone opens up and they're like, no, teacher, for me, there are only 5. For me, it's only once. Even if it's once, it's already bad enough. And even for the boys, they tend to be lied by slightly older girls. And women, they give them money. Back in the days, we used to think that it was only for girls, but even the boys, they are also engaged in sex. At 9 years, someone has already had sex for 10 times. You find the whole class of 30 children, all of them have had sex. And really, this is so sad. It exposes them to diseases, to STDs and HIV. And another thing is that what I found out, these parents, they are not open to each other. You find like both of them are taking ARVs, but none of them know the status of the other. So this has caused problems in that when one gets to know that they are sick, they tend to think that maybe the people they are staying with are the ones who gave them that disease, and yet maybe they could have gotten it from somewhere else. And this brings about domestic violence because of accusations. Someone is accusing the other for infecting them. So this is also another problem that I'm seeing in the slums. And also the sanitation is poor. It's poor to the extent that there are even times when I tend to bathe these kids here. A child can spend, especially girls, even boys, they can spend like a week without bathing. For us, we just give them clothes. I take them to the bathrooms and I guide them on how to bathe. Bathing down there is not something that is seen as important, and also cleaning around. But of course, when they come here, we teach them not to litter papers, to litter bottles. We tell them to put them in one corner, such that when they go back down there, they are able to do the same. What we do is a drop in the ocean. It's not easy to compete with the numbers down there. The statistics of 2011, it was about 36,000 people down there, but now it's worse because there are more people now. And another problem is about children who take alcohol. Some children abuse alcohol. We've ever picked on a child who was sleeping in a bar with her mother and her siblings. And of course, when the mother is drunk, the child did not have lunch. If someone offers a drink, they are going to drink, and this is not good for a child. Mentally, psychologically, it's really not welcoming.
Thank you.
Welcome.